Hello. This topic is of particular interest to me because I'm fascinated with how they're not exhausted all the time. And I don't know what they're running on. If it's adrenaline or if, I don't know. But how can they, I give it a lot of thought, how they possibly can successfully compartmentalize their life, their dual nature. How do they do that? How? It's not easy. Think of if you've ever told even one little lie and how now that lie has a life of its own. And now you have to remember what lie you told. And now it might come up again. And but I'm as honest as the day is long. As the day is long. If I think something, pardon me, this is me trying different hairstyles. My brown is growing in, so I'm sorry with this thing hanging in my face. That's not a winner. I'm not doing that again. I feel like, how do they hide? The effort it takes. What lie did you tell, like I said, and how are you going to keep it up? And then they get tripped up. And do they recognize each other in life? I've given that thought. If they're in a room, if they're at a gathering, there's not just one narcissist in the room. Do they recognize each other? Do they bond? Do they repel each other? Do they see themselves in someone else? Do they mess up and reveal themselves before they want to? Which we know they do that with us. But in life, do they? Because they can't remain intact elsewhere in life. We're not the only people that they get tripped up with. Okay? So then, or to maybe someone that they weren't ready to see their bad side yet. That might be something. I'm just not ready for that person to see that side of me yet. And damn it, I tripped up. I forgot my lie, and I told them a different thing, and darn, now that they know the truth. Do they care? And what led me here is, and I mentioned this the other day, I'm rewatching Dexter, which I sometimes put Dexter, the music, his voice narrating, everything about it, it puts me in the same space as playing a Pink Floyd album. Believe it or not. A murderous person. But it's a nice, quiet music they play. It's his voice narrating. It's like watching a golf tournament. It's very relaxing to me. So I play it a lot. And it's occurring to me because he's going through things again where it's like, oh, this person might discover him and this person might discover him. He goes through so much effort, work, and toil to keep his identity secret. He truly wants to keep it secret. I think part of the narcissist wants their inner part to come out. And they want us to know the truth about them because they're exhausted. Mine used to, that's what triangulation is about, other than devaluing. He wanted me to find him out, showing me his phone, who this person's emailing me, whatever. They're exhausted. They can't keep that up for any length of time. So I think they maybe just accept that they have to try to compartmentalize it, but I can't imagine that they're successful at it throughout all of life. They're certainly not hiding their bad side from the new supply that they clock. The new supply's got to be onto them when they have a person coming at them who might be married, who's fooling around on their wife, is talking about having an ex-girlfriend, and is mistreating them. That's their bad side leaking out. I just feel like, at least Dexter knows his dark side needs to stay hidden. I swear these cats are proud. There's an arrogance to these narcissists. There's an arrogance. And I don't know if people see them as how they are, as soon as they should see them as they are. Like, I believe that in their communities, they may make friends or try to make friends, but do people not see? They've got to see. it can't be successful compartmentalization. Because if you are friends with somebody, neighbors with somebody, and they start talking about their antics and everything, I watched people look at my narcissist with kind of horror at some of the things that he would talk about doing or feeling, or a way that he was being, and he thought it was like the coolest thing, and they're looking at him like he has 3 heads. There are good men on this earth, good family people, good women. And when a narcissist starts flapping their jaw about this, that, and the other, they sound idiotic most of the time. And if you look at other people's faces, then I think that they see them as idiotic, the clown in the room. I don't mind making people laugh, but I don't want to be the clown. I don't want to be someone's entertainment. My dysfunction is their entertainment. I saw it happen a lot, that people would look at him like, what is wrong with him? I didn't feel responsible. He's not my husband. He's not my child. He's not, you know what I mean? Whatever. He's behaving like a fool. Let him behave like a fool. But I think some of them, they play like they just living the life and they're rocking and rolling. But honestly, they cannot ever really foster any real respect from anyone who manages to get to know them at least as much as you can get to know that person. Because of course, as we all know, you never really can get to know them because they shift. They shift depending on what company they're keeping. So you're a certain way. You like we talked about in the last video or the one before that, whatever. You like going out all the time and being on the they want you right now. They're gonna portray to be that person. You're someone that likes quiet solitude, like we were talking about. Some people, they're gonna portray to be that person. They're gonna mirror you. So nobody ever really gets to know the narcissist. I don't even know if they know who they are, because they shift all the time. They've got to mess up. Neighbors, friends, business associates, people catch on. People catch on. And I can't imagine that them keeping that part of their life a secret can ever be something that they do successfully for a long time. Like, I think wives that have this happen to them, particularly like in my case, I've told you that mine was married twice. I think both wives probably knew. That's my guess. I don't know. I can't imagine having somebody do things to you for 15 years and you don't know. There's always something that screams that there's a problem. You can't get in touch with them. Oh, my phone was off. My phone was dead. Oh, I was out. Or I forgot to charge my phone. Or no, that person's just a friend. Oh, that voice you heard was so-and-so's wife. Or I'm not doing anything, I swear. Oh, it's a business trip. That's my favorite. Business trip. That's fantastic. Is it a business trip? A business trip means that you go away, you conduct business. If you're a responsible man, responsible, non-disordered, non-narcissist man, sure, go out for a steak dinner. Have yourself a stiff drink. You're sitting around with your business partners, whatever. And then, I don't care what you do after that, but I'm sure at some point, if you are a responsible, well-meaning citizen, you're back in your room, talking to your wife before you go to bed. Narcissist isn't doing that on a business trip. I'll talk to you in the morning. We're going to go and do blah, 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 and I won't really be able to get on the phone. There's always something that will blow their cover to you when you're in it. I can't help but think. And it brings me a little bit of glee, and I don't mean to get gleeful, but it brings me a little bit of glee that other people around your narcissist, they're also catching on, that they're full of it. And by it, you know what I'm saying? They're full of it. Every word they say reeks of being full of it. So how can they possibly keep up the dichotomy of the dual nature that they have? They can't, which is another reason why they shift friends, shift partners, shift activities that they do. They run out of slack, leeway. With this person, they've caught on now. I need to go over here. I blew my cover. They've caught on to my dual nature. Let me go over here and get new people who think I'm fabulous. and give me my value by telling me I'm fabulous. They can't get it from within. And I hope you people, because there are some comments I read, and there are a lot of people out there that are very, very sad, and they feel, why did this happen to me? Or I just don't feel like I want to even deal with anything. Your worth is very separate from the nonsense that they bring into our life. And I want to take a moment for you to understand that. They are living with this dual nature. They will for the rest of their life. You don't have to put up with that. The second they're out of your life, you should feel, there'll be no yelling that day. You won't be gaslighted that day. You won't have to deal with his dual nature and his lying when he comes home tonight. You will wake up to a peaceful house. You won't get bothered in the middle of the night just because they feel like fighting with you. None of that. It all goes away. It just dissipates. When you're not with them anymore, none of that is happening. None of it. I think, I often wonder about how they do it in their life and how successful they are at it. And my guess is that they're not very successful at it. And that's why they don't collect or amass a group of consistent people, because they're not as good at it as they think. And even with us, I mean, you think about the first time you caught on to your narcissist, that first time the rug was pulled. I bet it wasn't, I hope it wasn't, years into the relationship. I bet it was pretty soon into it that you said, this smells funny, something's off. Even if you remained with them, I bet you knew something was off. That's what I'm talking about. Nobody wants to be around people that are duplicitous in their nature. Nobody. Not a business partner, certainly. Not a friend. Not a family member. They'll get sick of that. I don't think they do as good a job compartmentalizing their dual nature as they think they're doing. And it is evidenced by when you look around your narcissist, look around them and see what they have as an anchor or as a person of solidarity in their life. I've known a few narcissists and they didn't really have any solid anything. I think because eventually people catch on. That's exhausting. To possibly be able to keep up that kind of life and have nobody catch on. Dexter's come pretty close to being caught. I know it's a fictional TV show. He's come pretty close to being caught. I think with the narcissist, they get caught. They get caught by you. They get seen, especially if it's like a sibling and they've known them their whole life. They're not fooling anybody. They're not fooling anybody. And if a narcissist happens to see this, you're not fooling anybody. We all see other grown men next to a grown man talking about, yeah, I did this and blah, 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 blah. They might laugh politely. They might. But that person may be a tried and true person, a good husband, in love with his wife. And inside they're thinking, what an idiotic person this guy is. What a clown. What a loser. What a nomad. This guy's got nothing to offer anybody on earth, and he thinks he's all that in a bucket of chicken. I think that other people catch on to your narcissist just like you do. I don't want you thinking they're out there in the world charming everybody. They're not. They will for a minute, just like they did you, me, us. That's what they do. I think people catch on. I don't think that they have it in them to keep up. First of all, it would take wit, smart, charm, everything to keep that up. There's no way they have any of that. And how could you possibly manage all those lies? You can't. You can't. They're telling you one thing, they're telling somebody else another thing, they mix it up, they might tell you something they told the other person. When I started to spend time away from my narcissist, and the call would come, the monthly phone call or whatever, I watched his personality changing or shifting away from what I remembered him being like. And suddenly he sounded different. He was talking different. He was acting weird. because he's in the flux, his state of flux. They're in between people. Maybe at that point he wasn't attached to anybody from whom he could mirror how to be in life. That's what they're doing. And Dexter refers to that a lot, how he tries to mirror feelings. And let me look at this person, and I can behave that way, and I can try to fit into society. That becomes exhausting for these people. And if they're not attached to someone who they can mirror, they're in a state of, ooh, how do I behave? They don't know their own self or how they genuinely would behave. Can you imagine that? Not even knowing your own stock? I'm telling you what, it's not a place that you should even want to be. It's with someone that has such duplicitousness in their life, and with someone who people around them will eventually see it, because they will be viewed as the clown. They will eventually be viewed, and I can only imagine what people are saying behind their back. Did you hear that guy? Did you see that guy? I had conversations with other people, grown men, around my narcissist, and one guy was like, he can't even give me the 30-second elevator pitch to this business deal he's talking about. He didn't even know what he was talking about. People hear it, they see it, they smell it. So you know what? Let them be the fool, and you go on and figure out your own life and your own solidarity, and let them exist in their dual nature and get found out by everybody, because they can't possibly, is what I landed on, successfully compartmentalize it and keep it safe from people. There's no way. Let them have that life. You don't need it.